Hello, beautiful peasants, and welcome in to yet another day at the tavern. I got some fun things planned for y'all today. When I was playing D&D, I had some time, because we have a lot of players, so when we were in combat, I was like, what would make Monday a little more fun? So I took a page out of Aloa's book, and I grabbed a fun little wheel and whatnot. I'll tell you guys all about it. And I'll explain what's going on with Tavern Pets, too. That happens to fit in today, too. Alright, mic is working, very good. Also, good morning to Kate, Sean's, my husband, Ricky, and then everyone that is also lurking and hanging out. Hello, peasants. We do have some polls in here if y'all wanted to vote on stuff for Chaos Monday. We are working on a polymorph victim. Yes, some good stuff in here. Alright, first things first is I have updated the Poing store. So, we now have a spin the wheel. Oh hey, let's remember a message of 3 months from Just Single. Chaos Monday. Thank you so much for 3 months of support. Good morning, Reaper. But yes, we now have for 250 Poing. Spin the wheel of chaos. And if it looks familiar, it should. It's because I was inspired by Aloha. I literally clicked on, why are we glitching now? Anyway, I literally just clicked on all the lovely stuff they made for special events we've done and for some art fests. And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna customize this. So thank you to Aloha for making that possible indirectly. But yes, I just thought this would be a fun interruption nonsense. You guys love to be disruptive. So I found a way to put that into it. Here are all of the things that you can cause to happen. I'm not going to explain them until they happen. But yes, it's 250 points on purpose, and it is, maybe if it's too expensive, I'll work with it. But yeah, it's exclamation point redeem chaos. I'm gonna go ahead and pin the store for y'all so you can grab it easily. Oh, Sean's already has enough. Okay. That's okay. I did nerf a few of y'all. Alright, we're gonna pin this. There we go. No, Reaper, you cannot redeem chaos. You are a mod. I think it's why you misspelled it on purpose. No. Wow, you guys are immediately doing this. Okay, I don't expect it. Okay, that's fine. All right, we're spinning the wheel now. Good morning. All right, we're spinning. Thank you, Sean, starting himself strong. We don't have a model to mess up yet. Me immediately panicking, see where my little table is at. Undead upgrade. There we go. All right, that'll be our. That's exactly what it sounds like. Is when we start working on this model, which has not happened yet. You can spin again later when we start. We'll put some undying, decaying flesh, maybe a little bit of bones poking out. We'll see. We'll see. I need to grab my little cheat sheet. There we go. Alrighty. We will do that. We will implement that. But yes, you guys will want to heist earn all of the Poing. Thank you, Shans. We will implement that. Actually, when we start sculpting the sheaf polymorph victim, you can just put at M3DM in all caps, undead, and I will start applying the undead effects. But yeah, I just want to talk to you guys about that. It's kind of a fun thing we can do on the side here, or immediately. But for this warm-up, I'm actually going to get Pookie Bear, the baby version, a little detailed and whatnot. Kickstarter is doing fantastic. I'm really happy because it's a smaller project. We kind of want to do a little in-between. And we passed our funding goal of 1,000, and we're creeping up past 1,500 right now, which means bonus model time. So, because Pookie Bear is in there, we're going to have one of the Tavern Pets released on that Kickstarter as well. So yeah, here's our little guy. You know, I was going to get him all detailed and stuff, but I don't want to rush it. So we're going to just jump right into Tavern Keeper's Craft. Let's work on this polymorph victim, shall we? That feels like the right move right now. Hello, and welcome to Tavern Keeper's Craft. Here's what we're working on today. So now that you guys know about the Chaos Wheel, we are going to tell you why I picked a silly request today as well. Because I don't think, well, let's see how hard it is. This is from Aubrey. I almost forgot to make a request. It's January, August, which means New Year, New You, right? Unfortunately, the evil wizard has different ideas on what that means. Ever get polymorphed into a sheep? Yeah, request. Victim of being polymorphed into a sheep. Thanks, evil wizard. And then I grabbed some references that I felt sheepy, but big personality. I especially like this one. I have no idea exactly how I'm going to merge these two. I definitely don't intend to just literally make a sheep. It's going to be a man that's been sheepified. I do like this pose a lot though, and I think I can do a lot with this here. Maybe we'll make a sheep and then make it man. Man to sheep or sheep to men. This is like chicken before the egg, but polymorph style. Good morning, Empress. So yeah, that's what we're talking about today and what we're gonna sculpt. Just normal nonsense at the tavern. I'm gonna use the male base mesh, I think. Excuse me. And then I'm going to bring in a sheep. I think I have a sheep base mesh. If not, I will just make it myself. And at some point, we'll do a 5-minute chaos edition where we undeadify it. Sean says, Mia, 2 ideas. Sheepfolk of a man in the process of being sheepified. Okay, I like it. Sheepfolk. Here's our sheep base mesh, so we can kind of start getting a little sheepy in here. And like, is he just a normal adventurer? Is he... I actually asked you guys some of these questions already. Let's kind of look at them. What part of them is now sheep? In the lead, we have 1 arm and some fluff chunks. And then we also have chaos editions from Aloha. You can add your own poll options just this week. What were they doing when the polymorph spell hit? Fleeing a wedding is in the lead. I'm glad, because that was my favorite one. And then what's their emotional state now? Existential dread is in the lead. Very good. If you would like to vote, these are still open. All right. Well, I guess I could do like a suit. I could kind of lean into this running from a wedding thing. You know? Can we have a pinup version of Sheep Man? No. No, we cannot. Good question. Sean says, normal adventurer. Adventurers may not even be normal. Could be a commoner who got sheepified. Should we make a tavern peasant? Okay, I can do a peasant. These are options. I don't think I'm going to use any assets today. I think I'm just going to create from scratch. I'm just not, except for shoes. I'm just not feeling like that's going to be super helpful, honestly. Because this is going to be kind of confusing. That's making it more of like the sheep folk in between. I got ideas. I think it'd be cool to have 1 boot and then 1 sheep hoof. So the first thing we're gonna do actually is just put a little screenshot of our components here off to the left, and then we're gonna start building this up, okay? And Paint says, had to try, Mia. It is Chaos Monday. That is acceptable. I'm gonna put a base here right from the get-go because I just think a little setting would be nice. Oh, how was your guys' weekend? I almost forgot to ask. Mine was fairly quiet, which was really nice. I've been terribly busy recently. I don't like being busy. I hate plans. I finally got to play some more Expedition 33. That was wonderful. Made some more progress on Tainted Grail as well. It was just a good weekend. Slightly cursed. We'll see it. Oh my god. No, it's cute. Empress had a stressful weekend. Oh no, I'm sorry. I get you. That means that sounds like just different busy. I hate being busy. Like, you know, if you ask people how they are and they say like, oh, good, busy. You will never hear that from me. You will hear, good, nothing. It has also been a hot minute since I have either been to a doctor or a dentist, and I'm realizing as a grown adult, if I don't make an appointment, nobody else will. So I'm like, I have to do that soon-ish. Anyway. Hello, chicken. Welcome in. All right, so for the expression, you guys mentioned existential dread. So let's kind of play with that. Now he just looks sad. It occurs to me that I don't know what existential dread looks like. Just like shocked, completely deadpan. I don't, just dead. Okay. What if I open his mouth a little bit? I will need to paint his teeth. Reaper says, I haven't seen a dentist in years. For me, it's only been one single year. I have not hit that 2-year mark. So if I'm not in the plural, I feel like I'm doing pretty good, right? What if I can kind of like scoot his mouth over like, How do we existential dread? Can make him look a little more tired. I imagine I'd be exhausted if I was half sheep. Okay, that's horror, which I like too. His name shall be eyebrows. Okay, I'm liking these. I'm gonna change his face structure up a bit, kind of de-chad him a little bit. Paint said this weekend they got some work and projects done finally. MC server up for once. Very nice. Sater says, I can send you a selfie if you want. Noble sacrifice is not needed. But thank you. There we go. It's so, okay, just like flat eyebrows. I mean, it's kind of tricky because that's animated, but still, I like it. I kind of want to give him a funny nose. So I'm moving his features around pretty aggressively here. I feel like dread is an internal emotion. With external expressions, it's weird. Yeah, no, I get you. Sorry, I'm like, what if I kind of like make him look tired? Let's go with like a purplish undercolor on his eyes here. Make him look a little tired and exhausted. I'd be exhausted if I was sheepified. You can, acting the eyebrows and add a deep furrow crease. Scrunch the eyebrows. Oh, I see. That's kind of really dramatic here. Okay, I find that just funny. It also makes him look like a kid. Yeah, like that's more what I was talking about. Good job, paint. Okay, that's getting horrified. Also looking like a little kid for some reason. Because I'm getting the mouth really close to the... Okay. We have changed the expression enough to where I'm like, okay, perfect. Thank you guys. Peasant brought together. Hey Mel, it's been a bit. Welcome back. Sater, I disagree with the eyebrows. That's a ridiculous statement, but yes. What, you want it to be mad, you want to be flat, you want to be sad. I mean, there's only so many what directions an eyebrow goes. The eyes need to be open in more of a shocked way. His eyes are quite open. Okay, not gonna nitpick. Let's move on. We made improvement, and that's what I wanted. I think he looks minutely horrified. I'm pleased with it. John says, Mia, sorry I missed the stream last week. Not a problem, you're here now. Also here's Foxy saying, beep beep, I'm a sheep. Very nice. Hello, Foxy. All right, and then we're gonna be just pretty much grabbing pieces of this sheep to sheepify. But I'm really not sure about how I want to do the pose and stuff for this. So I duplicated the sheep here, and I'm gonna grab a leg. It's gonna look more like a peg leg. I think it would have been easiest to just make like a sheep, like sitting down, kind of like a person. But I think this will end up looking the best. You know what I mean? So we're gonna have one skinny. Oh, that's very intense. Okay, we're not, when I say existential dread, I just mean like slightly like, okay. That's too horror. All right, let's get this skinny leg. I'm just gonna squish it so I can then make it sheep on top. There we go, sheep. Safe to say I've never done a request like this before, and I'm really excited about it. Looks like someone said mean stuff to him. Doesn't it just kind of like horrified? And I'm like, I like that. All right, we have a sheep leg. He needs pants. Also, my goodness, I moved his face around a little bit and now he looks so young. It's because his eyes are bigger now. And we need to roll the eyeballs up a tiny bit so I can lift the top eyelid. I think the downturned face works too. He looks like he's about to cry. Either can work. All right, let's get some just normal pants. We're gonna do this, and then we're gonna clip half of this off. It's gonna be asymmetrical pants. And that's why I was thinking, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna reuse any assets today because this is gonna be so custom. I don't have half man, half sheep fitting clothes, you know? I don't know what size that would be. Ooh, it's a water check. So early in the stream. What if I'm already hydrated? Why is this brush being backwards? Oh, because something's wrong with it. I actually do have water ready for once. Yes, one of these days I will make the hydrate expensive because it's just for you, just lingual. It's a nice sentiment though. All right, we have some pants. We are beginning to shape and dress our peasant adventurer. I'm undecided on his story as of right now. This is true. We do have to hydrate early to leave room for other bits of chaos. Absolutely. And at any point, Sean's can undeadify. He's so unnecessarily buff right now. We're gonna crush this body a little bit to be simpler. I did not. There we are. And let's go with the peasanty tunic. So we'll probably do 2 layers here. We can do like a normal little short shirt and then some sort of vest over it. I think that'd be good. Mouse says, what's the fun in saving people this early in the stream? I like your attitude. Also, I am not sure what kind of hair to do for this guy. I think it'd be nice if it's something that's kind of curly or poofy, something that's easy to kind of translate into wool, something, you know, something sheepy. Are they not running from a wedding? It's a peasant wedding, so I'm not sure how fancy we're gonna make this. I was gonna go like full text, and then I was like, you know what? That's more for flavor text. We don't know if he ever actually got to the wedding or not. He might have been like trying to blend in, boring outfit. Let's do a little vest on top. It really just depends on how nice I make this little vest. I might put a little corsage pin to this vest. Again, we are still medieval. We're not doing like modern tucks. Not in my tabard. That's a vote for curly hair. I like it. What? That's like, why just weird creased belly button, but nothing else? Okay. There we go. I was like, that's not what I wanted. All right, we have a little vest here. It is starting to come together and look kind of like a thing. Reaper says maybe he was the guy that said no at the wedding and the bride cursed him. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, that is the lore now. Good one. And look at my hairstyles here. I think kind of a wild hairstyle would be good. This is my mad scientist hairstyle, which I use all the time. It is so versatile. I've used this for men, for women, for mad scientists, for little kids. It's just a good one. Oh my god. There's a lot going on there and I don't like any of it. Blech. Even if he didn't make it to the wedding, he was definitely wearing his luck charm because of the special day. The charm, unfortunately, did not work. What is the good luck charm? It's like a classic, like, rabbit's foot? Or maybe it was a sheep hoof, and that's why. He's like, I couldn't find any rabbits. Just had like a sheep hoof, and that's why the spell went wrong. Who knows? Mal says, ah yes, the 3 genders. Men, women, and mad scientists. Exactly. A creature with sheep legs and a human body is a fawn, right? No, that is a baby deer. With sheep legs, oh goodness, I'm not sure. But just like legs like that, usually a satyr. And then let's probably start making spots of this hair white. And then I can probably make some of this puffier, you know? I think we're off to a pretty good start here. I also think it'd be funny if there were bits of like sheep fluff starting to appear. So let's go ahead and grab our sheep. We'll just duplicate the entire body here. Oh, and we have to give him a little tail too. I just think that'd be hysterical. All right, tail is in place. And then we have to have another sheep leg, I believe. Let's duplicate this and grab yet another leg. We might pose this guy during the stream too, because it's going to be so goofy and kind of weird to rig as I'm replacing multiple body parts. At least the way that we rig things in Character Creator. So perhaps I will just keep that in mind now. We're going to remove this arm and this leg entirely, just like that. Gosh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Get these hooves painted. A little bit of contrast, some clarity. Excellent. And then I think it'd be funny if this was all white trim. I don't like the color of this though. It's kind of greenish. There we go. Chicken salad. I think the only time I've seen a satyr in a movie is Narnia. It's definitely the one that comes to mind first. Mal mentions, satyr is here most days, actually. Mal says, I think I'm much funnier than I am today. No, you're pretty funny. This is pretty good. I also trust Satyr from Satyr Knowledge. Okay, I'll read his actually comment. Satyr says, actually, a fawn is the Roman version of a satyr. Sure. No one uses that though. When people say fawn, they don't think half man, half sheep, whatever. They think baby deer. What's the ideal time for spinning the wheel in a fun / possibly inconvenient stream? Literally any time. I'm waiting to see if Sean's wants to redeem their undead spell, or if Sean's wants to wait to make it more problematic later. Up to Sean's. Oh my gosh, I know, I hate this. Christ. Sean says, re-redeem spin, please. That is undeadify. Let's do it. Let's do it. To do this, because again, we want to be disruptive, but we do want to get some stuff done, right? I'm going to make a duplicate of the body called Undead. So pretty much every time you guys spin the wheel and cause problems for me, it's going to replace a subtool, but only temporarily. That way we don't have a model that looks like nothing, but then everybody wins, right? So we're going to undeadify. Let's go. I have a brush here that'll kind of help me put all this together. And I'm going to put a minute on the clock to make this as undead as possible in only a minute. You ready? First things first, he can't have eyes. They just need to be black pits. And then the whole body, honestly, should be more of like a grayish. There we go. Oh, how nice. And then we'll put a nice hole on his face right here. A nice bite on his neck. This is courtesy of Sean's. Alrighty. And then how about a little peeling spot on his nose? And then it works out because we can do a lot of silly stuff on the stream without actually getting nothing done. And then I got 10 seconds left. Oh, I have 0 seconds left. I gotta pull this lip down. All right, there we go. We have now undeadified him. Amazing. All right, Just Lingual has also spun. Let's go. We have undead. Also, just for today, I'm gonna say that if you redeem Clean Up the Tabard, it will undo the wheel effects that have happened. Okay? Just for today. All right, I have the wheel somewhere. There it is. All right, let us spin again. This is courtesy of Just Lingual. And we spin. Again, thank you, Aloha. This was nice. God damn it. It's goblin time. All right, so I didn't really anticipate getting 2 giant like body modifications, so our undead is now going to become goblin-y. Oh, paint clean the tabard. Oh heck yeah, that means we remove the undead and replace with goblin. That makes my life so much easier. All right, you guys watch this become an undead. Now you're gonna watch him become a goblin. So on a real note, because art and stuff, I did also come up with this Chaos Monday idea so that way my students could see like how quickly I can transform stuff in just a minute. So there is learning to be had. Hello, monkey. All right, it's goblin time. All right, it's Chaos Monday, monkey. So we're redeeming. I made a wheel of chaos. It's somewhat expensive to redeem. I'm gonna give myself a minute for this one as well. Okay, we're gonna goblinify him. So to do that, first of all, he's gotta be green. Not that green, that green. There we go. And the next thing we're gonna do is we already have some brushes in here that are gonna help us out, like some big ears. There we go. So we're gonna come over to the side here. We're gonna flatten these down to help me out. Ideally in symmetry. Okay, I got 30 seconds. Oh my god, I might need to give myself 3 minutes for this one. Oop, that's an upside down ear. What does an ear look like? Panicking. There's an ear. Okay, we're gonna give ourselves 3 minutes before I absolutely have an aneurysm. All right, 3 minutes on the clock. Let's go. No paint. You know what? Because I have these ears here and they actually look so nice, I can transform these instead. Oh yeah, look how cute that is. There we go. And in case you're just coming into the tabard, hello, welcome in. We do things a little different here on Mondays. And we just have a little bit of fun going on with viewers. You're allowed to spin a wheel and cause problems, and right now, it's goblin time. He's looking more like a Smurf, and I'm fine with it. Let's get some wrinkles in here. And last but not least, some teeth. He's gonna look really disgusted. Not disgusting, that would be mean. He's kind of in the process of becoming a goblin, and he feels strongly about it. Wow, what a poor victim we have today. Oh, amazing. Yeah, let's get that nose farther out. And then some eye bags. We are desperately missing eye bags. We're doing good on time. We still got a whole minute. It's like Shrek's long-lost brother. You are correct, and he is also not invited to the swamp. We're gonna make him smile. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this jawline, y'all, killed me. It's so stupid. Why does it kind of look like the mask? You know what I'm talking about? Not bad for our 3-minute transformation. It's a goblin. We did it with 20 seconds to spare. Let's go. Monkey. What happened to all my poing? Yes, I had to nerf you, Monkey, because if not, you would be able to single-handedly redeem the Wheel of Chaos like every single time today. So I put you at a generous 500. To be fair, it's the beginning of the month. I could have nuked all of y'all. So if you complain too much, careful. Excuse me. Alright, we have been goblinified. My god. Yeah, that's totally kind of more so what it looks like. To be fair, it is a human turned goblin-ish. Thank you, Just Lingle, for that. It's horrible and nobody likes it. Satyrs having too much fun. And then yes, if anyone redeems Clean the Tavern, it will fix this. But if not, this is how we're going. I'm glad you guys are enjoying whatever this is. He will not be a goblin in the final version, I assure you. Why the mask? Because it looks like the mask, kind of what I did. I think so, anyway. Oh, it fits. I know. I'm just kidding. Oh, you're right. Monkey. How much wheel? 250. Go to the Poing store. It'll tell you all about it. All right, on to the next thing here. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the Wheel of Chaos. I am too. It is limited to 5 spins. Okay? We've done it twice. Just so I don't actually go insane and never do it again. But for now, I thought it'd be kind of fun if we do it every Monday. Wait, will there be undead and goblin variations that goes out? God, no. The way that I would quit so fast. No, this is just for you hooligans. Nobody else. Alrighty, we are starting to detail the shirts and moving right along here. Empress, because if so, that'd be sweet. Yeah, no. No, too much. Also, y'all, these models go out to like hundreds of people on Patreon, and a very, very small amount of us hang out on stream together. The way that people would be so confused as to what was going on and why there were these bizarre variations. Literally only 10 people would get the joke. I'm all about inside jokes, but even I am like, okay, I have my limits. That's a long way of just saying I'm not that fun. How does Monkey have 1100 poing? I just nerfed you. Did I not fix the odds? Or the odds? Oh well, it's too late now. That's okay. But yeah, I thought this would also be a really fun way for me to start Monday streams. Because sometimes, you know, you have a restful weekend and you start Monday and you're like, maybe I get a little too hyped for the weekday. And then maybe I push a little too hard on Monday. And then I'm just tired the rest of the week. So I figured if I made it silly and stupid, maybe that would give me a better attitude for the rest of the week. And by better attitude, I guess just more sustainable attitude. Does that make sense? My problem is working too hard. So if I do something really stupid every Monday, I think I'd enjoy that. Not that this isn't peak art right here. Is no one going to clean the tavern, or are we going to just look at this goblin the whole time? Oh, something just popped up. I missed it. Ooh, paint cleaned it. Thank you. I was just complaining about that. All right, we have sheep farm. Excellent. We are de-goblinifying. We're going back to, what was the plot? Maybe I shouldn't be deleting these. Maybe I should just hide them. Yeah, we'll just hide them, and we'll call this chaos folder. And at the very, very end, we can look at all the chaos you guys caused. Okay, we're back to normal. There we go. I don't know if he's happy or not about it. Good luck on the heist. I have not ruined the odds as of right now. Let's add some seams here. Just single quoting me, saying me and my problem is I work too hard. Peasants, this isn't a job interview. That is very true. I know y'all hang out here mostly for silliness anyway. Is there a cooldown on the heist? Oh, you betcha. Otherwise, y'all break it. I don't know how, but you do. Fun if there was like a quilted texture on this, maybe. Give me my cheese. Oh, speaking of monkey, you'll be very happy to know that one of the things that can happen on the Wheel of Chaos is turkey leg. You'd be happy to know. I thought about y'all. Alright, it's time to add some little fabric folds here. I like using the standard brush. And then we're gonna add some stitching, nice and simple. And then maybe some, like, I want some texture on this somewhere. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put it quite yet. I'm gonna kind of fan out the bottom here the way I would also sculpt like a pleated skirt, kind of make it look a little wrinkly. And some of this is inspired from last week. Y'all loved the double request day that I did so much. That's what we're doing every Tuesday now, by the way, from now on. But also, I'm like, you know, I love how much I've been trying to improve and really like push my sculpting skills. But also some of the fun here is how quick I'm able to work. So I want to lean into that a little bit more again. It kind of takes the pressure off me too, to just kind of have fun and bring people's requests to life as opposed to try to make everything the next Mona Lisa. You know what I mean? Monkey is so lost. What is the command for the wheel? Go to the Poing store, unless it's already gone. I don't think so. You guys haven't redeemed it 5 times. Everything will say what it is. You literally look at it, and it tells you right here how to do it. Unless it's already gone. How many are left? Reaper took one of y'all's redeems, because, yeah, we have 3 left. No, okay, it worked out. Never mind. Mucky, how are you still asking where the Poing store is? Everybody has told you where it is. At this point, I feel like you're trolling. I know you're tech savvy. You literally do business. It's pinned at the top. Also, exclamation point store. Don't mind me just griefing. How get there? Okay, Monkey is griefing me. You got me. All right, we're making this little vest now, and I do think I want some more texture on this. First, I'm gonna put a little bit of trim. I find the easiest way to do that is to insert an edge loop on the inside, just like that. There we go. I don't know why it's already creased. I don't remember doing that, but that is what I wanted. Not mad about it. Monkey's gonna monkey. You were absolutely correct, Satyr. Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, that's looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and get a texture on that. In his defense, he is a monkey. This is true. I love how everyone's just like, this is normal behavior. So I'm adding a noise modifier to this to kind of get some more fun texture in here. Let me go to Surface, Edit, frame this up, and let's kind of adjust the way this is going to fit. Because I'm not unwrapping it, we're going to get some weird stretching and seams on the side, and I'm fine with that. I'm going to click on OK. And then we can do mask by noise, which I usually like to do, or we can just click Apply. Usually I mask by noise and then kind of handle it myself. I find that gives me the best results. There we go. It's a nice texture on that. And let's kind of fit this to his body a touch better. All right, last but not least, we do need some stitching. Monkey is complaining it will not let him spin. Oh no. It's a sad day to be a monkey. Why are we not following? Ah, that's why. There we go. Now let's go ahead and add some stitches here. They're kind of looking a little funny and sticking to the model in all sorts of weird ways, but I think I'm fine with it. If I want to clean up anything later, I can. But right now, we're still in that stage, kind of figuring out how I like things to look. I might not even keep the stitches, what I'm trying to say. Look at these weird little things on the end. Stop. Again, doing that double request last week really kind of got me back to just creating quickly and freely, and I'm really enjoying that. Oh, did Empress just do it? Amazing. Sorry, I'm so not seeing it when it comes up. Sounds like we had another spin though. I got a really good amount of work done here in between though. I'm proud of that. All right, where's my wheel? Sounds good. All right, I have Chaos Monday. It is up. I trust that Empress spun. Satyr says, see, the grim dark in me wants to put him in transformational agony. All right, let's see if Monkey gets his turkey leg, courtesy of Empress. We're spinning. This is so silly and dumb. I like it. Ooh, no, we got Buzz Off. Fantastic. Okay. So Buzz Off is bees. Tons of fucking bees. Add bees. Swarm of bees. Bee earrings. Bee cape. Doesn't matter. There are bees now. All right. Christ. All right. Give me a second to implement this. I'm gonna save this. This is gonna be our polymorph victim. Oh my god. Ew. Ooh, a bee beard. I'm open to what type of bee nonsense we do. So the first thing I have to do is sculpt the bee. I don't even have a bee. Or you know what? This is a really good time to grab one of our tavern pets. We already have a bee. We're gonna bring in Buzz. It is in fact Buzz Off. All right, here's our cute little bee. I will remove the honey. There he is. We don't need the base, we don't need the honey, and we don't need the flower it's sitting on. Amazing. Oh, it's so cute. There we go. I'm gonna copy this tool, I'm gonna bring it into our scene, and we're gonna cover him in bees. Adorable bees. Let me really reduce the poly count on this so we don't literally have like 1,000 polys. Or million. 1,000 is not that many. I have not seen that. Guy ran to a beehive as he was running. Amazing. Ooh, can I get this down to 5,000 points? Ooh, I can. How about 1,000? Okay, it's gonna look crunchy, and don't worry, it's gonna work out. Bees. All right, we are adding bees. It's happening. I was waiting for someone to put that in. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to set this into the chaos folder. And the next thing we're going to do is duplicate this, and we're going to put them everywhere. Here's a great way to do that, because we are learning here. If you hold down Control and click and drag on your gizmo, you can auto duplicate it. And yes, all of these little bees have booties, every single one of them. I like the bee beard idea, so we will do that. Oh my god. Good job, monkey. That was a great idea. Alright. I already know what you guys are thinking. This isn't enough bees. I got you. Alright, I got about another minute left here. Alright, is this a sufficient amount of bees? How are we feeling about the bees? I feel like this is a sufficient amount of bees. There's literally bees fucking everywhere. I'm gonna move on, but if you guys are disappointed by the amount of bees, speak now or forever hold your bees. Monkey said, I was thinking there's no way that 3D prints. Get out. You guys are so silly. I'm making my scene bigger so I stop missing when you guys do bees and spin the wheels. There we go. Alright, nobody has complained about the number of bees, so it's sufficient. Just single-sided peasants? Do y'all think she might be tricking us into being less chaotic by limiting us to 5 chaos spins in the beginning of the stream? I may or may not have known that you guys would spend all those spins immediately. Reaper says more bees. Okay. We are going to take the amount of bees we have and we are going to duplicate them. I thought it was plenty of bees. Oh my god. Is this enough bees? Okay, we have more bees. We have double the amount of bees that we just had. Surely this is enough bees. I'm gonna keep working. Oh, Christ. Slater said, what kind of weak-ass beard is that? I had a better beard than that on my 2nd birthday. Okay. Bees. Okay, now the bee beard has to be its own subtool because... Alright, Satyr, is this a sufficient amount of bees? Why am I leaving it up to you guys? Oh, God. Oh, a real question. Emperor says, Mia, does the offset when adding thickness via dynamic subdiv need to be as deep as you're showing it here? Not necessarily, but I might as well because it's going to get remeshed to be 3D printed. It makes it easier. Oh my god, that's actually a bee beard. Okay. Apparently there needs to be even more bees. You know, anyone can clean up the tavern for a small fee. Alright, that's as many bees as we're gonna get. We have achieved maximum beedom, and now I have to spin this stupid wheel again. I think this is the last spin. I keep hiding the wheel from myself. There we go. How amazing would it be if Monkey manages to get the turkey leg? If that happens, I'll do something. I don't know. You were so close to turkey leg, but alas, no dice. Void Scar. Alright. Void Scar is super cool. I was hoping someone would get this. Void Scar. Add a crack, hole, or chunk missing from the sculpt. It has seen things. Dark things. Alright. I'm actually going to use this to, as a moment, teach you guys about booleans. Alright. So, first thing you want to do is go to render booleans, and enable live boolean. And then, whenever you append something, look at these little tiny little icons here, right? That's what's affecting Boolean. So right now it is union, so both of them are showing. If I go right here to subtract, you'll see it starts to subtract what it is from. There we go. I'm like, it's literally not working. Here we go. It's only subtracting from the B's and nothing else. I need to move it up to the body. So it's also sensitive to where it is in relation to your subtools. So might need to pull everything out of the folder here, which is fine. Oh my god, there's so many fucking B's. I can't even see what's going on. Okay. I'm gonna merge down all of the B's for a second here. Neat. Did anyone clean the tab group yet? John said, Mia, isn't there a way to duplicate subtool holding control and make more than one? Yes, if you hold down, if you have the gizmo up, hold down control, click and drag, now we have that many B's. Thanks. You can redeem fire instead. And Pris says it's okay, she didn't see it. What did I not see? I did answer a question. Okay, we have an impossible. No one say nothing. What happened? Use bees to hide it. I'm trying to do a void scar right now. That's okay. Well, whatever it was, I missed it. There we go. So you can't really tell, but he is now missing. He has a hole in his chest. He is brokenhearted. There we go. And you will be able to see the void scar later when there are not so many fucking bees. We're gonna name this void scar. Thank you, monkey, for your spin. Very good. I'm not gonna be able to see what's going on. It only this chat. Oh, it's stuff here that's happening, isn't it? No? Okay, well, I didn't find it. This is annoying. Sater says, I'm going to ban the first person to clean the tavern. The way that we might have got new people and new viewers today, and they came in, they were like, you guys have finally figured out how to do the combo. I do have combos enabled today. I was hoping no one would find out, but then we had bees, and so naturally you guys have found out the bee combo is working. John said, I meant like a step and repeat. I do not know what to mean. Okay, I'm gonna somehow work amidst all the bees. We have pants, and they have thickness. That's good. Need to zoom in here, add a little bit of trim. So that way when I add, what is happening? That way when I add subdivision levels, it doesn't get all wonky. Here we go. So I'm extrude this once and then twice. I know it's kind of chunky, but when I subdivide, see it kind of rounds off really nicely. So I'm using that to my advantage. Oh no, not that kind of model. Whoop, stop. These were more bees than I thought we were going to have. It is what it is. Okay, it's only a wall of bees, so as long as I like sculpt with it rotated, I can still see. The urge to keep clicking solo, but I know that defeats the purpose. Okay, I do need to solo it for a moment here to get the pockets created. Sometimes you just don't have to overcomplicate it. You can literally just draw these things on, and it will look just fine. It's obviously not as fancy as it would be if you went through the trouble of doing it by hand and like actually extruding a pocket and whatnot. But this is just fine. The appeal of this model, if you can, oh my gosh, it's all the little bee butts. I forgot they all have little booties. my god, there's so many. Well, if you were having... This objectively makes everyone's day a little bit better, I hope. Because it definitely made my day better. I completely forgot. Our chicken is not impressed by the bee butts. Thank God. Thank you. Truly. And we're good. Redeem only gets rid of the last problem, so the void scar is still happening. Hey Toda, that's a lot of bees, and why are they so thick? It's Chaos Monday. That's all I have to say about that. There's Aloha. Finally, some real content. When she laughs and it sounds like a chair sliding across the floor in school, you know she's having a good time. Yeah. Beautiful. Yep, chicken, you have been banned for like 5 seconds, don't worry. How dare you clean up this mess. Thank you. Amazing. And I figured if I let you guys be chaotic and ridiculous on Monday, maybe that will make the rest of the week a little easier to deal with, y'all. Just a thought. So right now we are going to add fabric folds to these pants. I'm using my trusty standard brush. And I'm really happy I had an opportunity to bring in some Tabber Pet goodness too. Why does he have a hole in his torso? That is thanks to Monkey, because they redeemed Void Scar. That would need an additional Clean the Tapper to fix. Chicken is in fact the goat. Welcome back, Chicken. Are you really a loyal viewer of mine if you have not been banned at least once? Good peasant. I'm gonna laugh so hard if like all these mutes and stuff actually affect your guys' account somewhere. Like YouTube is like suspicious activity. I don't think that actually happens, just to be clear. I just think it's funny. Oh look, we have more viewers again because all the bees are gone. Thanks, Chicken. Alright, we're gonna add a leather texture here, like using the layer brush, and changing from dots to drag rectangle. And then we will continue the polymorph goodness here. Because he's sheepy, but we can do better. We can more sheep. There we go. Just some sort of noise on this. That looks much better. Alright, we're going to split these little hooves off into their own piece, and I can start texturing this sheep leg. Hey Micah, yeah, remember to like the stream. I would appreciate that. It does help. You have not been banned yet. Careful what you wish for. Monkey said, hey listen, if you think it's Chaos Monday, you should see my D&D campaign last night. That sounds like it's a good campaign. I am so proud of myself for getting this much work done, even with all the nonsense, and that's why and this is actually kind of a difficult model, truthfully, but I was feeling up to the task. Oh, this is fantastic. I need to add some sheepy elements to his face, or something with his hair. I like the legs. I like the arm and the leg that we have of the polymorph potion. Looks quite nice. But we need to address the rest of him. We successfully ran a heist on 2 adult blue dragons. Ooh, that's epic. That does sound chaotic though. And everyone lived? Monkey says the funny part was my character did not know they returned to their lair. I spent another 4 rounds of combat just stuffing my bag full of gems from the horde. That's fantastic. Sean's is back. Okay, I returned properly. Welcome back properly. And coloring. Man, you've been creating a ton of art recently, Sean's. I love to see it. Oh, I forgot we have this over here. That's where we started the stream, but ZBrush is being a little silly about it. How about you just show everything that was there? Come here. It's like, no, I will not. Oh well. Coda says spooky season is around the corner. Are y'all ready for chillier weather and pumpkins? Yes. Oh my goodness. Absolutely yes. Maybe a rectangular sheep iris and ram horn. Yeah, absolutely. So let's make one of these eyes sheepy. My goodness, ZBrush. It's like we are going to be laggy and we are going to be confused. There we go. The horn is a really good idea. I was not thinking of that. Alright, how in the world do I do this? Let's make it green to start, and then it's like kind of like this. Ish. We're gonna call it good. We do not need the bee here anymore. Y'all are welcome to fix the hole in this chest. Or not. Alright, let's see what horns we have here by default. Fawn is one of them. This is from Flipped Normals. I usually just create my own at this point. Every now and then, they really do the job. We need like that big curled one. This looks more monstrous, but I think it might work for what we're wanting today. I'm gonna trim off this little edge here, because again, this is meant to be like a VDM, but I'm not using it like that. I'm using it as just like an append. I mostly just want to get the shape and kind of see if I like it. And if I do, maybe I'll make it my own, but a bit nicer. Yeah, Chicken says, I bought that too. It's really good. It is. I really enjoy this Flip Normals pack. Can somebody give me a reference of a ram horn? I, for some reason, have just completely blanking on what these look like. I feel like that's right. Somehow looks too small and too big at the same time. You know what I mean? Sean says, like Mia says, you gotta fail so many times, an uncounted number, before you can succeed regularly. Exactly. Thank you, Reaper. Yeah, I'm like totally doing this wrong. Yeah. Okay, screw this. Again, this horn is fine. And it made me realize that yes, I do in fact want to do this. But I want to do it my own way. So I'm going to import my, I call it a horn starter. It pretty much looks like a little tube, but you'll see it's extremely customizable and it's really, really cool when used correctly. So yes, this is it. I discovered how to do this with the tutorial. I think it's Anna Carolina. Really, really cool. She has a bunch of fantastic content. Ooh, and a side view. Thank you, Reaper. But yes, here is the horn starter. As you can see, when it is polygrouped, it looks like a rainbow because each one of these sections is duplicated all the way up. What's really cool is you pretty much can just take this, place it where you want it to be, and then use a deformer to get the exact shape that you want. It's a really, really powerful technique. I'm going to place it on his temple right here because I know that's where I want it to start. And I can scoot his hair back a touch here to kind of complement the horn. Without symmetry, thank you. His hair will need some shaping later. That's fine. There we go. And then now with it in place, make sure your gizmo is straight. Click on this little gear and then click on bend curve. I usually like to take this and add just one node in the beginning. You want as few nodes as possible. The more that you add, the lumpier it's going to get. Only add them when you absolutely need more definition. There we go. Emperor says, no more failing. My worth is tied to how well I do. I need to make the money. Art goddess. Exactly. All right, this side reference is actually super helpful. So it ends about here. I guess I'm gonna end it like at his jaw. And then we can taper at the very end. I need to add, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like when you absolutely need to add more nodes, click and drag on this little cone right here, and then you'll have some more to work with. But don't add them too soon. There we go. And then later on you can taper, you can twist them. It's really cool. It's very literal on the C shape here, so I'm gonna do my best to not goof that up. Gonna fix the twist here because that mesh is getting a little silly. Why are you being so mad? Why so serious? That's fine. Also gonna taper this, start refining the shape. I still really don't have the C shape that I'm wanting, but we're getting closer. I might need to, yeah, add a node here instead. I don't know why it's twisting on itself so much right here. It's being a bit difficult, but just be patient with it. Twist as needed. You can always sculpt over this again at the end. That is so funny that it's so mad. If I move it down, it's happier though. That's fine. We're gonna reduce the nodes really quick here. Whenever I feel like it's getting more and more overworked, I just undo and try it again. I really recommend that. And you'll know when you're working on it and you're like, ooh, it's feeling like it's getting kind of messy. That's usually how you know it's overworked. And don't be afraid to just go back here and do history attach and try it again. Your second attempt and third, fourth, fifth attempt, I swear, they just get better. There we go. See, that looks way better in my head. The actual tip of the horn, I think, looks eh. So I'm gonna fix that too. So now I'm using my move brush to add some final fixes and final touches here. Actually just manually tapering this and then using my pinch brush to refine the shape even further. I'll probably use trim dynamic because the very face of it is kind of square. That just has to do with the way that I constructed it. Now I can grab Move Topological and really start to adjust the way that this fits. Again, it's a really powerful way to create all kinds of different horns really quickly and then be able to modify them even further, which y'all know I love to do. I like that this is the eye that I kind of transformed to. Add a little bit of poly paint here. Kind of help blend everything together. Hello, Otaka, welcome in. We missed you at D&D. We're making a polymorph victim today. This is actually Aubrey's request. Or I guess as you would know him, Sunyatore. That looks pretty good. I think it got a little blobby in the center here. So I'll go ahead and adjust that a touch. I must see this. Is this a goat? It is. That's really cute. Otaka says, yeah, I would have loved to play. It's okay, next week. Or you mentioned next week. It has been so nice playing D&D like regularly again. I don't think I would have been confident enough to release those stat blocks in my current Kickstarter without playing regularly again. Your girl has got to start DMing. I have no reason why I haven't. I'm like, I don't know, I feel like I don't know enough. Even though I've played a lot of D&D, I definitely know enough. And I've seen like the way Gwen does it too. She's got no problem learning on the fly. Like, that's part of it. I'd love to give some of those forever DMs out there a break. I seriously think that I would like being a DM more than a player, honestly. I know it's a lot of prep time and whatnot, but that's kind of what I like to do. Oh no, Otaka is in summer camp. It has the flu. Ah, that is the worst. I hope you feel better soon. Boo. 0 out of 10. Would not recommend. Yeah, I agree. That's a good point. Sater says, Mia, you don't need to know everything. Don't fall into that fallacy. Honestly, you don't really need to know anything because the rules and calls are ultimately up to you. This is true. Sean said, yeah, honestly with DMing, you just gotta do it. Watch videos for new DMs, but you can only learn so much from that. At some point, you just learn from experience. That makes sense. Alright, and now I'd like to add some bits of fluff. So what we're going to do is add some poly paint in these areas and then just kind of smooth out. Alright, so I'm going to find like a little spot. We're going to mask it. Kind of like a scribbled on mask, essentially. We want it to be kind of rough. We're going to invert it, paint it white, and then fur. Okay, that's not what I wanted to happen, but I really like it actually. We'll remember that for a future thing. That's so not what I was intending to happen for at all. I like it. Amazing. Reaper says, Mia, still got a redeem for a spin? Absolutely, I think we got one left. Or are you asking if you can do one? Because if so, yes, at this point you can. It is allowed. Gotta give him some of that chest hair. Sheep hair. And there we go. Polymorph victim is looking pretty good. Otaka says, for DMing, the most important thing is players who value the work you put in. There's nothing worse than players staring at their phones or talking about their day to day while you try to DM something cool. Oh, yeah, that would crush me. I would hate that. Ooh, it looks like Otaka has enough for a Chaos spin if you would like to. It is Chaos Monday. That is welcome. That is encouraged. It'd be exclamation point redeem chaos. Sean says, I threw some anatomy and pose references in the resource chat. Not toot my own horn here, but wow, they are amazing. I want to see. Oh, a couple of books. Oh, heck yeah. Oh, not laughing. Love. Thank you, Sean's. I definitely recognize this one. Very cool. Thank you for sharing that. All right, looks like we got a spin going. I can't believe I got this much done. All right, let's go. I think this is our last spin, I'm pretty sure. This is the fifth one or fourth one. And that is going to be Floral Overload. Simple, similar to the bees, it is going to be covering this lovely model in flowers. This one comes with a bonus, Otaka. You get to pick the flower. Here are the flowers at the top. They're kind of hard to read, but in order, it's rose, camellia, chamomile, clover, knapweed, ranunculus, crocus, apple, cherry, and lily. Or you can just say the second one. Let me know what flower you want, and we'll get flower overloading. Mal says, I came back and he's got a hole in his chest. What happened? Monkey happened. It's a void scar. Just normal Chaos Monday things. It's fun letting you guys influence the sculpt so directly. And somehow also getting work done still. That's been good too. The monkey burrowed through his chest. Monkey says, y'all can't blame me. Otaka likes the 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A crocus. Let's do it. I don't don't know what color a crocus flower normally is. I think it's purple or pink. I have no idea. Let me find out really quick. I think it's purple. Yes. Very good. No more wheel. There we go. Let's get a lighter color. Amazing. I'm gonna cover that one up. And yeah, he's just gonna be a pretty boy. On a real note, one of the things I was excited about for this Chaos Monday is being able to implement things and change models really quickly, but also just have practice of like how to spread a bunch of flowers on something where it still looks somewhat intentional with like a good flow, you know? Because I don't have a lot of practice doing stuff like this, because why would I? But every now and then when I'm like, I wouldn't even think to cover something with this kind of texture unless it was something silly. Sometimes you get comfortable doing silly things though, it actually improves your normal art. I pause and say normal art because my job is already so weird as of what I do. Like this is a polymorph victim. And then I'd like to put a little flower on top of the sheep head. Just one. Amazing. Thank you, Otaka. And that is Floral Overload. Overload Lord. Oh, amazing. It's Otaka's favorite color as well. Excellent. Yes, he has caught the bloom. It was a hot minute before I cleared the bees, just lingual. It was a bit of a mess. Well, that went quite well, if I do say so myself. There we are. Amazing. Caught the bloom, Satyr says, repeating. That is actually kind of inspiring. Like, so many ideas. Sounds like get a little sketchbook. Or just like, I don't know. You've got pen and paper available to you. A little 5-minute sketch. Empress is like, I have been known to be creative. This is true. Alrighty, y'all. That is the end of Tavern Keeper's Craft. We did successfully create a polymorph victim. Very excited about that. And we had a ton of nonsense in Chaos. Let's review, shall we? We made him a goblin. We also made him undead, but I didn't save that because I didn't realize we're going to review it. And now I'm like, this is more fun. This is more fun. And then also, of course, I think the favorite of the day was bees. A lot of fucking bees. Not to be outshone by the flowers and the void scar, which is just the hole in his chest. Let's have everything visible for a moment. Ah, very nice. Good job, guys. We are going to officially clean the tavern to finish this off. No fire, no bees, no goblin, no flowers everywhere, and no void scar. There we go. Very nice. We're going to do a fun little render here and take probably a 5-10 minute break, come back, and then we'll start happy hour. Thank you guys for a very successful Chaos Monday. Let me know if you would like the wheel to come back again next week. I do think it was kind of a fun little bit. Like, it was structured in like a fun way. And it looks like we even got some of y'all inspired out of it too, which that is fantastic. The void scar did in fact survive until the end. Let's go ahead and brighten this up. You know what? Here. That's better. let's do a fancy page. We've come this far. I'm going to have to hide his arm, nothing new. That we can still see our little sheep friend. Oh, we still can't see him. Oh well. There we go. All right, let's do a little render. I am also excited for happy hour. I have a ton of student stuff to review today, so that'll be fun. Ooh, it's so dark today. That's okay. I like the drama, but I don't like that covering up the sheep. The sheep does look disgusted. No such thing as reading too deep. There we go, that's better. Excellent. Let's get a screenshot. And then I didn't end up screenshotting the ridiculousness that was Chaos Monday. I'm gonna have to go back to do that one. For some reason, my screenshot button is only working on this screen. Ugh. Sad. Hey, non-sleepers here. It's been a bit. Welcome back. Sheep are kind of the worst. It's true. It's true. Okay, I'm not sure why my screenshot button isn't working. Let me reopen it. I think it's just asleep. Good morning. Aha, it works now. All right, it is screenshot time. Smile. Amazing. And then we'll do another screenshot here with the Chaos Monday edition. Which is very easy. I just turn on the stupid folder here. Very good. Okay, less of a smile. Alrighty. Thank you guys for being so much fun today, like always. I'm proud of myself for not getting too hung up on any one aspect of this model and just like got it done. So I'm very happy with that. Alrighty, wonderful. Well, normally I would take a break at this point, but I feel like today's moving along quite well, and I've already eaten, so we're gonna roll straight into happy hour, if that's okay with you guys. I think it's okay. I'm the boss. We can do it. Alrighty, hello and welcome to happy hour. So a quick overview of what is going on today. First of all, hey, my name is Mia, and I sculpt 3D printable models for a living. Everything on here is a request, so this was our Polymorph sheep victim, who was really cute and fun. We had an extra spin that we call Chaos Monday. It just regulars can. When you watch the stream, you get like this fake currency called Poing, and then eventually if you pile up enough of it, you can spin the wheel. So that's why we had some ridiculous versions. That's the Tavern Keeper's Craft. We just finished that up, and sure enough, bam, after about an hour, we have a model to show for it. And then now, this is where I kind of shift gears and we go back into like, oh, it's a little more serious. It's more about like learning and art. So I do teach, if you're interested in that, there's a link in the description, or you can type in !learn, and it should give you a link. Anyway, so all the work I'm reviewing here right now is my mentorship students. And most of my students were brand new beginners just a couple months ago. So it's really fun to watch them grow. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. If you have any questions, even if you're not paying for mentorship, though it is a screaming deal, it's $1 a day, you're welcome to ask me questions, but at M3DM, and I'm happy to cover that. All right, first of all is King Max. Oh, fantastic. So Max was very honest with me and mentioned he's working on his first project, okay? And when you first get into project work, it can be very overwhelming and it's kind of hard to like keep momentum. I actually have a few students that are struggling with this right now. Very, very, very common. So Max did a great job, reached out to me and was like, I'm stuck. Can you help unstuck me? And the way that I'm going to unstuck them is a two-part thing. One, a create bad assignment. And I was very, very clear. This is just about creating something. No pressure, ideally alien abomination. And sure enough, here we go. It's beautiful. Not the best work I've ever done, but he's a little owl demon man. Fantastic. Now that you're kind of warmed up, I have a second part of this assignment here, which is a sculpt with me for a staff. You might have already watched this video. I think I might have sent this to you. But I gave you this one on purpose because I show you a step-by-step walkthrough of how to create this staff. And it's very similar-ish to the one that you're working on in your project anyway. So I thought making a couple staffs, a couple accessories would be fun for you to kind of like zoom out, take the pressure off, and get back in the creative flow. If you have any questions, please let me know. Next up, we have John. Is John in the chat right now? I know you're excited for this. John's really fun to review because I have like a critique system, which is like 1, 2, or 3. 1 is like super intense. I like don't hold back. I nitpick everything. 2 is balance, and 3 is very, very kind and light feedback. John always wants a 1. As he puts it, he is a big boy. So I'm excited for that. I'm going to grab a timestamp here just in case John is not here with us right now. It's about the 1:46, hour 46. All right, beautiful. Let's take a look. So I pushed John to redo the potion sculpt with me assignment. So I have a video that my students will follow to create exactly what you see here. I do step by step. And John has already done that. Given John's skill level, though, I was like, we can do more than that. So I pushed, oh cool, John's here. Hey, John. I pushed them to redesign and do just a bit more. I already had a student do this before, and that was their interpretation, just to kind of get John on the right track. And this is what they submitted. Here we go. It's so great that it takes a while to load. All right, awesome. I am really happy with what I'm seeing here. Interestingly, my favorite part about it is the apple. That is a gorgeous apple. I love the poly paint choices here are getting stronger. Just your overall flow here is more interesting. This has a lot more appeal than this. This is like a piece in the background you'd pay no attention to. This is nice. Also, the idea of having like alchemical stuff happening next to like your lunch is a problem, and I love that. All right, now let's critique. Let's kind of push into this to make it better. One of the things I noticed right off the bat is a small discrepancy in color palette. This is a lot more diluted, this blue, than the greens and the reds. These kind of live in the same little family over here, and then this kind of doesn't. Let's do a screenshot so I can actually draw over this and really tell y'all a lot. Okay. Another thing that's happening here is your hard surface are getting a little wonky. This edge here really is wobbling. And to some extent, I like that, okay? But I don't think it's happening in a controlled way. I think you put an alpha over it and it's just starting to bend over your edges and it's making the edge of this wood look round and bubbly. You can clean that up by using Trim Dynamic or just being a little more careful with the way you apply your mask. Another thing too is the fact that the aspect ratio of this, like this potion fits here and that makes sense, but the gap here is so big. It's so odd. I don't know why it's so long. Also, I see that you just set the potion through this as opposed to booleaning out like a hole. I can tell, and I know you know how to do that. So next time, there should be holes in the other ones at the very, very least if they're going to stay empty. Otherwise, it doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? Also, these ones have a cork stopper, which looks really nice, and these ones do not. I do think it would benefit these to have that. And the last note I have is actually the same note I had for Grimnir, and that is these potion shapes are interesting, but they're kind of boring. They're not telling me a huge story. I can't tell what potion is about what. And I'll show you an example here. I'm just type in magic potions on Pinterest. Here we go. So when I look at this spread right here, I can tell like this looks like it's like a fairy potion. This looks like it has to do with the sun, death, maybe a love potion. Like just by looking at these, there's so much I can learn about it. These potion shapes are not really telling me anything. I don't know if this is bad or good for me to drink. Like what if I like, you know what I mean? Like I was like your apprentice or something and you went in there and you like grabbed the death potion. Between these two, I'd probably guess this one, but I don't really know. So I'm trying to say is you can push the shapes here even further to really get more of a story, even to inanimate objects. Like if this was a death potion, you could maybe cover this in like a cobweb, you know what I mean? And that would look kind of spooky. Or you could even do like a leather wrap on it that literally just has a skull on it. Very simple. You could even go a step further and just make the entire potion itself a skull, right? Another thing you could do is maybe have these potions that are spilled here, I think has a little bit of a missed opportunity, because if you have this cork stopper off of it and it actually spilled out, you could affect the wood to show what kind of potion that was. And that's just world building and storytelling without being obvious. I mean, you could just literally put like a little sign on here and be like, love, you know what I mean? But it's more interesting if you were to show, not tell. Overall, I'm really happy with this. I think you pushed this really well, and I love that apple. It's beautiful. And John said, I still haven't grasped the materials / poly paint. You're definitely getting there. You have a nice blend right here. Just keep at it. I think what's probably confusing you is the fact that all the colors change even when you haven't put a color on the subtool. It's just a preview. It's just a preview. Me no good with booleans. We'll fix that. All right, awesome. If you have any additional questions for me, let me know. If not, I am moving on to the next student, which I believe is Empress. Oh, wow, we have some huge progress here. I did read your updates over the weekend. I gave a little demo last week on how to clean up the base mesh to just start to improve it, and you did. I can tell that the eyelids got away from you a little bit, really common, especially at the outer corners, and the inner corners can be very tricky. You did maintain a semblance of a tear duct. Good job. I would rework the outside of the corner where it kind of got away from you. I think it's because you were adding this brow ridge here, and then it kind of just went a little farther. By using a combination of Move Topological and some careful masking, that will help you immensely. Also, turning on perspective. Click P on your keyboard will make the face look a little more rounded. Right now it's perfectly flat looking because there's no perspective here, which that just means like when things are closer to the camera, they're bigger, right? And when they're farther away, they're smaller. When you turn, that's perspective. When you turn off perspective, everything's just the same size, and it can make working on faces a little tricky. All right, amazing. Just in case I did not make it to Monday's stream, here is the weekend progress shots. I realized in having lashes, my face looked even weirder than it does for a beginner. Very true. I have reiterated this dress about 6 or 7 times for landing on this. Nice. I love to hear some iteration. I was really trying go for that metal armor piece look with ornaments, but not gonna lie, it's a mess. No, it's a great start. The reference board I put together before all this is sorely lacking a lot of fundamental pictures of character design, making this a lot harder than I feel it should be. We live and we learn. Absolutely. I noticed that, but the first thing I was not going to criticize your project work immediately of being like, you don't have enough references. It's better to let you discover that yourself, and sure enough, you immediately discovered that like I need more references. And it's funny, normally you need even more boring references than you think. Like let's say you're sculpting like an office worker, you're thinking of like the suit and the tie, but maybe you'll forget like a coffee cup. You should have a reference of that too, for example. Despite the trials and tribulations, I'm so proud of the progress I am making. Instead of getting stuck, I'll just keep working and keep notes for my next model attempt. Heck yeah, that gets some confetti. That is the whole point. A lot of my students are working on their very first project right now. And it's not about making the best character you've ever made and spending 8 months on that. I wouldn't even consider that a success. It's about getting through the process. Good job. Good job. Update to the update. I had gained insight from the goddess above and went in a different direction with the outfit. This is not accurate, but still a work in progress. I don't want to show it quite yet. Feel free to destroy me though. Oh, legit question. I feel like her legs are a little thin. How do I embiggen them cleanly? I'm afraid inflate will just kill it. You are correct. So let's give a look at this. I'm not going to critique the outfit since you've already reworked it, though I do love how her hair is looking. Let's go ahead and check out the legs. They are getting a bit thin. At this point, because you do not have any, you lost the bony landmarks, you kind of have Barbie doll legs right now. It's okay if you were to inflate them. You're gonna wanna check out landmarks though. So this curve is pretty much fine. When you turn to the side, just make sure that the front of the thigh is going to curve. Oop, it's confused, isn't it? The front of the thigh is going to curve and they'll come back and the calf will curve. So when you look at the leg from a side view, let me just show it to you. This is like a really good thing to know. Oh, he's missing a leg. Notice how the front curves and the back curves. So again, your curve, straight. They flip-flop. From the front, it kind of does the same thing. We have these two big volumes come in and then they get tighter around the knee. The more muscular someone is, their quads will really stick out over the top. And then same with the calves, kind of poke around that front bone here. You're missing those landmarks, so it's gonna be, I wouldn't worry about too much. I'd get the size that you want them to be. And then I would start mapping out those landmarks again. So your knee right here, the bone should be sticking out. Oh, it's being a little bit more clear where that's at. And then this quad muscle, even if it's not super developed. Does that help? Is that a good starting point? Don't get too lost in the sauce when it comes to legs, because that's a whole anatomy study in itself. I'm very, very proud of what you have here already. It's looking fantastic. Huge progress. I'm so proud of it. Like, this is your first character. This is fantastic. I have not reviewed these quite yet. I'm going to grab my phone and check them first. Not because my students send me weird stuff, but every now and then, y'all share personal information with me. So I do not want to have that on stream. All right, sweet. Paint had a straightforward one. Paint, there's a current progress. They cleaned up this cloth from my review last time. I was looking at this. I mentioned this is getting really, let's scroll up a little bit. This is getting very blobby right here because of the way that you constructed it. And sure enough, oh, we're missing shoes. And sure enough, you clean that up, the edge looks much nicer, and we got some shoes happening here, so good job. Paint says, I assume I need some more belts and items to break up silhouette more. I did do some more work on it. Cloth is weird to render for me. I will try to get better at it. I get you. Cloth can be really tricky. I know you've already done this assignment before, but I'm going to send you the fabric fold assignment one more time. You do not need to complete it, but just look at the resources that I have provided in this, and it'll kind of refresh your memory. Again, a lot of assignments I provide for y'all are meant to be redone multiple times because you're not going to just master cloth after doing it once, right? So there is that just for reference. You can kind of see the way this is behaving. This is a great reference, especially. This one right here, these fabric folds are pretty much what you're going to want this tabard here to look like, because you have 2 points of tension and the rest is just hanging. So it's going to look remarkably similar to this. And I recommend, like, go into your closet, grab a shirt or a pillowcase, I don't care, and just start like pinching it and holding it up. And then you pinch it 2 points. And then you scrunch it together and just look at it in the way that the shapes change. Will help you a lot. And yes, some secondary objects and forms like belts, pouches, that will start to give, like, you know, like some more interest to it, and you'll start to like it even more. Also, some chainmail on the legs isn't the worst idea. I know you have metal right here, but I think that could look quite good. That's a suggestion. You don't have to do that. All right, on to the next person. Alrighty, and now we have one from Chicken. So hello to Chicken. I know you're already here. I've lost Chicken. Oh, because it's Ari. That's right. Thank you, Miss. Thought on this being portfolio worthy, Miss. This is looking much better. We are getting a lot stronger here. 2 things. 1, I have never had to submit a portfolio for review. I'm not a great person to ask for this. I will still give you input. 2, here are my opinions. I don't think the secondary forms here are super strong, like the wrinkle work. Overall, the appeal is quite interesting. I do love this scar right here, and it shows you have some understanding of facial bones, but if I was looking to hire you to create creatures from, there are some things I would be concerned about, and I will talk to you about it. There's a decent amount of made up anatomy, but you're close. You're very close. So like you have this ridge right here. Let's make this not the same color as the character. Let's go with a contrast, something green. The way that these secondary shapes are kind of lumping together aren't very confident, and especially this buildup on top of the ear. I would expect the orbital eye socket, you know, to just be a bit stronger in that I can see to see the skull underneath it. Again, you have a good starting point. Like, do you see like this dip you have right here? I don't think there's any anatomical reason for that to be there. And that's the thing when you're submitting creatures in your portfolio, you're expected to have the fundamentals mastered, and then you're expanding upon that. And this is kind of showing you might have some holes there. Same with the jowls right here. That's not how that would work. And then similar with these little sub muscles. Again, there's a lot of noise here that I think is very impressive and interesting to like a beginner or even intermediate. But for those that would be reviewing a portfolio to hire you, I think they would not be impressed by the anatomical understanding of some of these components here. I do love the texturing. I do love the wetness of the skin. And I do think the character is interesting, and you have a good amount of color trying to break up the face here, right? But the texture you have here, like the dirt, like if I took a little snap of this versus a snap of this, it looks exactly the same. And that shouldn't be the case. Like you do have different tones on like undertones on your face. Like your forehead is going to be more yellow, this little stripe is more red, and then your chin is more blue. And I'm not seeing those undertones here. It's all very similar. Chicken mentioned, game art, I'm an animation student. I want to show off a bit of wrinkled skin. If you want to show off wrinkled skin, I don't think so. Okay, let me get into that really quick. I want to go keep going before I forget. Another thing is, when you're submitting portfolio work for game art and for review, I don't know if they really even care about the render that much. Is that crazy? I don't know, but they're going to want to see the wireframe. So I know you're showing this to me, but they're going to care about your topology and the way that you created this, because a lot of people can make this. I'm nitpicking on your forms here because that's what you've presented me. But they're going to want to make sure that you're able to unwrap your character, apply those textures correctly. They're going to look at your UV map. They're going to look at your topology. They're going to look at how the deformations happen on the face, because you need, like, can you imagine like if your topology on this was just like a perfect grid? Like that's not going to deform well at all, versus having like intentional edge loops that look more like this. Like you're going to want to look more like this, not like this. So that's going to be a huge part of it. And if your goal with this is to show off understanding of wrinkles, this was not the way to do it. Let me go in here. I'm gonna type in stylized old man 3D. There we go. If you want to show like strength and understanding wrinkles, I think something like this would be much more portfolio and impressive. And you can actually see more what I was talking about here about the skin tones. Like see how much more redness we have here at the base of the chin, but do you see how blue this is getting and how yellow this is up here? Again, it's showing more of like that understanding of color. There we go. So yes, if you want to like wrinkle work, I think this would have been a better like stylistic man as opposed to a monster. It's a cool piece, but it's not a standout portfolio piece that's going to land you any work. Maybe an internship. And yeah, you asked for a 1, so you got a 1. If anyone was like, oh my god, that was so intense, I feel for them. It's okay. Chicken is tough. Let me read through the chat really quick here. I'm going to make sure I read Sater's especially. Sater says, listen to her feedback, but for that presentation, they're going to want to see the wireframe too to make sure you understand topology. Yes, and I would almost argue that is more important for them. Yes. Sater said, yep, she pretty much nailed it. The render is good and as an attention grabber, but they're going to want to see the breakdown, the wireframe, the UVs, the texture maps, all of them. Absolutely. Something I really like that you said here, Chicken, is that I wanted to show a bit of wrinkled skin. So I like that you knew what you wanted to show off through that portfolio piece. Also, wasn't this based on a Lord of the Rings character, though? Like, I'm pretty sure I remember you sent me the reference for it, and it was very similar. What I'm trying to work up to here is like, yeah, there's that model. Don't put fan art in your portfolio. Just gonna go with a blanket statement there. All right, if you have any questions, let me know. Anything from Max really quick? Awesome. Oh yeah, no problem. Oh, that's very sweet. Max, I'm gonna wait before I read that out loud and respond to it. If you're comfortable, let me know. Would like to respond on stream, that's okay. And if you say yes, I would love to respond to that. If not, I'll just DM you later because I have a lot of good thoughts to share on that. There's paint. Did you review my piece? Yes. And then let me see. Just Lingual has a question. I know it's going to be on topic. Here we go. Just Lingual said, what's the best tool for carving wrinkles? There we go. Like a V cut. This alien whale is a simple blob, right? Probably. I've also confused myself on how to use the mask for extract and mask with gizmo for quick and dirty body shaping. I know you just saw it, but it's for reference of wrinkly mouth shapes. All right. I like it. I like it. What's the best tool for carving wrinkles? Damn standard and standard, baby. Keep it real simple. Let me grab this really quickly. And I'll do something on the nasal area here. You want to map out your wrinkles with Damn Standard and then build up that material around them. You can use the standard brush if you're feeling really confident and heavy, or you can build it up layer by layer more carefully, not purple, with the clay brush and then kind of build that up. Again, the trick with wrinkles and the trick with texture like this is to take your time to really understand why there's forms happening there and that kind of stuff. Again, don't be afraid, especially when doing wrinkles, to let it get kind of noisy and then simplify it later. So I kind of have this weird little dip happening here. But yeah, whenever it comes down to like, okay, what brushes should I use? It's usually just the core brushes. You could even, if you want to, try to get a starting point by using Damn Standard and Alpha, like this one. And you could just like put it on really low intensity and just scribble a line and be like, okay. And then you can build up the ones that you liked. Kind of a less traditional advice there. I use that all the time to kind of get a starting point. Cool, Max is absolutely fine. Great. Max mentioned, hey, just a bit of an FYI, I have autism and with it, I struggle quite a bit with skill regression. The reason I mention this, when I submit my staff repeat, please don't look at it in comparison to my previous staff and work. Instead, review as if I was a new student. Thanks. Two things. One, love that you're like, this is how I want to be taught. This is the way that helps me. Two, I agree. Autism or not, I don't think it's skill regression. I think it's just normal art. You know, I mean, you know yourself better than me. It's such an interesting point that all of my students struggle with, whether they're neurodivergent or not, or autistic or whatever. I mean, granted, they don't usually disclose that for me, so I guess I wouldn't know. But anyway, that is so normal. And I want all of my students to know this and remember this. You should not be comparing your own work to earlier work of yours from like a peak. Like if you know like you had like a great monster you made and you make a new one and you keep comparing it to the best one you ever did or your first or whatever, comparison is the thief of joy. I understand that it's natural to want to see if you're improving in chronologue progress. Just stay in your lane and just worry about the piece you're currently working on. Let your mentor or your teacher look at your work and point out consistent mistakes for you. It's great to be self-aware, but as a hobbyist especially, you don't need to be criticizing yourself that harshly, and especially comparing your own work against each other. I absolutely agree. Always just worry about the piece that's in front of you. I have definitely made models before that were, like, for me, showstoppers. I was so proud of them. And I would agonize because I felt like I could not reach that greatness again. That's because growth as an artist is just not linear at all. Let me get a screenshot. I'm gonna make a graph. So it's really normal to think, let's say that on this axis we have time, and on this axis we have skill. Most people think that as an artist, when we're improving, it looks like this. Or my favorite, because when you're a new student, it tends to look like this. In the beginning, you learn a lot, and it looks more like this even as a student. Because again, you'll spike in the beginning. I have found art in progress actually looks a little bit more like this. I am so not joking with y'all right now. Yes, you go back in time sometimes. I don't know how it happens, but it does. I like to call this line right here depression. I like to call this line right here anxiety. Like, I'm serious. Or like something serious happens in your life. Just don't worry about the graph. Don't worry about the graph. Don't worry about it. Just make more art, okay? Just make more art. Good job, and thank you for sharing that with me. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And Max mentions thank you. I know it is a normal art thing, but also it means my muscle memory isn't great as well. So I'm currently relearning my hotkeys, how much pressure I need to use my pencil, just a thought. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, how many times have you guys seen me while I'm sculpting in ZBrush forget where stuff is on my own custom UI? I can never remember the contrast button is right here. I absolutely understand. And I commend you for sticking with it. That's awesome. I know it's frustrating. Taka says, ooh, I can time travel soon? Oh, Taka, you might be, I think you're one of my most positive students, right up there with Empress. Aw, bummer. Chicken said, also my art school really sucks. I don't even like art. I'm just there for the degree. I get you. I get you. Empress said, this is too real, right? Okay, I'm glad that resonated with a lot of you guys. Thank you, Sater, for tuning, or not just tuning in today. One, you're a great mod, but also like the stuff that you share, I super value, because I did not have experience in industry when it comes to art or any traditional training. Ooh, I like this. Micah said, the same also applies to writing fiction. You can write quick and chase trends, or you can try to just do your own preferences. It's your voice either way, but you can, it double clicked for you. But anyway, I absolutely hear what you're saying. Follow your own voice. Absolutely. Exactly. I'm actually going to keep that weird wrinkle thing we did here, guys. I ended up really liking it. I'm going to blend this horn a little bit better by using my clay brush. And also some more wrinkles. There we go. I like that. Didn't expect to. Neato. Yeah, Sater, you're awesome. Thank you, thank you. I also... Can we take a moment to go back to Chicken just for a second here? I love him. This character looks awesome. Again, the texturing, I am being absolutely brutal when it comes to like anatomy and like wrinkles I think that shouldn't be there or should be there. This thing is super cool. He's shiny. He's well colored. He's believable. It's freaking cool. I just know how it is out there, and it's not enough to get you noticed as of right now. Doesn't mean it doesn't belong in your portfolio. Just means it's good. You need to do a lot. I know it's not uncommon to spend like 3 to 6 months on a single portfolio piece. Hazy is here. Hey, it's been a bit. They said, hi, you said not to put fan art in your portfolio. I wonder what the measurement for creating something valuable based off of established art pieces, like stylizing a character based on some theme. I get you. The reason why I said not to do fan art, it depends on what you're creating for. Like if you are applying to be a cartoonist, yeah, maybe don't do fan art. They're going to want to see you creating your own original characters and in different scenarios, interacting with different things, showing different personality traits, showing, not telling, right? If you're a 3D artist, I might be wrong. Y'all are not going to be creating that many original characters in 3D art. You're going to be doing a lot of technical work, making sure stuff is rigged correctly, texture work. You're not going to be like, okay, thanks, hello, new hire, sit down and create new, original, beautiful characters. It's just not going to happen. That's like senior art kind of stuff. They want to see if you can like use a hammer, use a screwdriver. And in that case, these tools, again, are like being a cog in the machine, you know, in a good way, like the art machine and making your finished product, whether it be CG for a movie or a video game or whatever. And the reason why I say not to do fan art is because if you have the chance to show something original and design, you're showing that you do have capacity for original work. If you just copy something that's already out there, it can be valuable for sure, but you're showing less than what you potentially could be showing. There we go. Recreating their own IP is not going to impress them. Thank you, Seder. And also, again, big grain of salt. The hell do I know? I've never put together a portfolio and I've never published anything, okay? I work for myself. I'm a freelance artist. That's where I have experience. Doesn't mean that my opinion's not worth anything, but if I was y'all, I would take it with a huge grain of salt. And I would listen to podcasts from like Flip Normal has a lot that they talk about stuff like this. And really just, there's actually quite a few YouTubers out there. I can put a list together in my Discord, but ask people that are doing it. Ask people that are doing it. I'm happy to respond, but I can do more. Hey, Gestural. I can respond more about my experience of building a business and freelancing than anything else. Like I have gotten hired in industry. I work for Titancraft, but again, that was so strong to my current expertise in 3D printing. Ooh, that was really well put, Micah. Micah says fan art and portfolio works if you're doing commissions. If you're trying to get in a full-time contract, you need to show fundamentals and complexity in a way that is both obvious and nuanced. Ooh, good comment. All of that. Yes. Hazy said, yeah, that makes sense. Good. Very good. Yes, Abe Leal is so... I've been watching so many of his shorts. That guy's awesome. That guy's awesome. No, I've never worked on a game. No, I have no interest in game design. I do stuff for 3D printing. The only business that I have worked for is Titancraft. So it's if you're familiar with Hero Forge, it's like that but better. You can like put together your own characters and then they're 3D print ready. So yeah, let's add a character. I'll pick a dwarf female, add to scene. I wonder if I can find some of the things I created. Yeah, like I made this shirt. So yeah, like a lot of these pieces in here, I made these. That one I definitely made. So yeah, I made that. Stuff that fits with this style. It was very tricky for me to sculpt in a style that is not mine. For example, like I didn't make this. I retextured them, or not retextured, but I rewrapped them. And redid the normal maps and stuff. I did this. I recognize a lot of these. So again, I had to... What you guys are seeing here is actually the low res model with a texture of the high res model put on top of it. So, yes. Very cool. A lot of great input here. Thank you guys. I feel like he needs a belt or something. But this is fine. He can just be a simple, straightforward character. Chicken says, I love 3D, man. And with that, what a great sentiment. I agree. Love is in the air. Good attitude. I like that you are passion forward, Chicken. You know what you like, and that's why you do it. It's very important. Never lose sight of that. Any other questions? This has been great. Let me check on Ray. Ray is also stuck in their project work a little bit right now. We're kind of warming them up. All good stuff. Good update from Ray. Ooh, we have some truck progress from Reaper. I'm looking in our Discord right now. Reaper is teaching themselves to model. Doesn't surprise me. So talented. Check it out. And yes, this is in Blender. I guess, no, just kidding. All 3D softwares are great, seriously. The interior's looking pretty damn good. Ooh, and the non-sleeper has more work on their dragon. Heck yeah. Looking good. Y'all are so talented. I just love this community. And then Paint says in all caps, remember to have fun with art, peeps. Agreed. What a great sentiment to end this on. And a lot of y'all that are, I'm gonna make a rule. You can follow it or not. If you're learning how to do 3D and you think that one day it'd be cool to maybe sell it and do commissions, that's fine. If you're learning 3D and you are just starting and you've never even finished a character and you're like, I'm gonna make money with this, stop it. You're gonna burn out. Stop it. Passion first. Passion before money. Otherwise, you'll be too overcritical of your stuff before you even get anywhere. Excellent stuff. This is a dense stream because there was no break. That's going to bring us into closing time. Any last questions? I'd love that. John says, Mia, yes, if it's not too basic, could you do a quick swipe on booleans? Of course, of course. Let me do a quick demo on that. I did that for the scar, but let's make it more clear. First, go to render, make sure live boolean is enabled. Second, you need to have 2 subtools. Otherwise, there's nothing to boolean. Now that you have 2 subtools here, check out all these little dots right here, all these little circles. We got 2 circles, 1 light, 1 dark. There you go. So the 1 light, 1 dark is a subtraction. The one next to it will do an intersection. Isn't that cool? And this all happens live in your viewport. So how do you make this a real thing? You come down to Boolean, make Boolean mesh, and then pay attention up here. I'm gonna click on it. It's a make Boolean mesh. See what happened? We now have that mesh right here. It does put it in a new tool. If you want to put it back in the scene that you are currently in, simply come down to append, and then you'll see it'll say umesh underscore your subtool name. And there you go. That is your quick Boolean tutorial. What does Boolean mean? It's just kind of operation. Great point. That's a good one to end on. Sater mentions an artist with passion will always be hired before an artist looking for a buck. Exactly. Exactly. And then can you explain what you do on Character Creator, miss? Yep, I rig stuff and I pose it. That's it. And even, actually my husband does that. I do pose within ZBrush as well. If I'm doing multiple poses, it's faster to rig it once and then I can fine tune. Great questions. Oop. We are in closing right now. So if you guys have any last minute questions, keep them coming. I'll be answering for another 5 minutes or so. If I don't get to your question, never fear. I will be streaming again tomorrow at noon. Is it free? Oh God, no. Whenever it comes to 3D software and someone asks, is it free? The answer is no. The answer is literally always no, unless it's Blender. And even then, not really. By the time that you're done buying plugins and tools and whatnot for Blender, it's not necessarily free either. Yeah, of course, of course. I need to get a new assignment for John, speaking of. You know what? I'm going to give John the same assignment I gave Max. Y'all are both going to make magic stabs. I think that could benefit both of you. John, just like last time, I want you to make this, and then I want you to make it again, but push the design a little bit. I know this is a lot different than characters and creatures, or like the stylized work that you normally do, but I want to get you more comfortable in designing assets and props before we get into the complexity that anatomy presents. On to the next one. I read your mind, John. Just Single says, Mia, how do I find someone to buy me ZBrush after I'm out of school? I know, rip. I'll let you know when I find one. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. This is a fantastic Chaos Monday. I will be streaming again mañana around noon. If you want a reminder of that, 2 things. Either subscribe or hang out on Discord. I'll put an invite in the chat. If you are hanging out, you're more than welcome to join our little community. Chicken has one more question. I never know if the last question's gonna be a serious one or like pineapple and pizza. You're very welcome, John. So tomorrow we'll be it'll be 2 for Tuesday, and so I'll be working on 2 different requests. Just getting better at getting through the process. I think I was starting to put a lot of pressure on myself to make like portfolio pieces in an hour, which is psychotic, as opposed to getting the request done. So I'm happy I did that today, and this turned out really cool. Chicken says, what's your opinion on using assets like on a full-on base mesh and stuff on portfolio pieces? Not exactly learning, but giving time on sketches. Okay, that question got a little jumbled. 1 second. What's your opinion on using assets like full-on base meshes for portfolio pieces? Period. No, it defeats the whole purpose. They don't want to see anything you didn't make. If you're using a plugin or a tool to do something, that's fine. Okay. But like, you got to make it yourself. I can't imagine if I use this base mesh from ZBuilder, which is great, and then like submitted a character like this, and they're like, okay, resculpt this body, and I wouldn't be able to. That would be embarrassing. I would not want to be hired on that because I would not be comfortable recreating it myself. It doesn't matter if you're doing something with it, because a portfolio, what's the purpose of a portfolio? The purpose is to get a job, right? And I'd be damned if I submit anything in my portfolio where my future employer would be like, cool, see this thing you did? Go do that. And I'd be like, okay, yeah, but I'm gonna use this base mesh. A company can't use, most licenses of use are not gonna be covered on a corporate conglomeration scale. It's like personal or small commercial, you know? Yes, exactly, Empress, you're correct. Oh wait, never mind. Portfolio. Yeah. No. No. It's a great question. I'm glad that you guys are comfortable asking me these questions and you're fine with me disclaiming that I've never had to have my work scrutinized in that way before. I also don't know nothing though. I listen to all the same stuff that you guys do. I'm always taking notes and I'm always learning. That's also the most important thing. Just Lingual says, Mia, can you make your own character chisel? If you make an ear, you can like add it more easily. Yes. Yes. That is a chisel brush. Okay. Really quick. Really quick. Grab a plane. Okay, we're doing like a speed run lesson right now before I log off, okay? Grab a plane, subdivide it a bunch of times, and then like do detail. I encourage you to mask the edges, otherwise you're gonna have problems. Do a bunch of detail or whatever. Pretend this is an ear. Very nice ear. And then when you click on, grab your chisel brush. It has to be a chisel brush. And then once this is selected, you can do create multi-alpha brush. And it's going to overwrite your chisel brush. I know it's annoying. You can save a copy of it later. But now that you have that, you can come back to your body. You'll see the chisel brush here has now been replaced with this ear that you made. Definitely a lovely ear. I can click and drag, and there you go. See? Just like that. Bam. Custom brush creation. Good question. Again, I took a plane, detailed, pretend it's an ear. B for brush palette, create multi-alpha brush with a chisel brush selected. Wow, I did that wrong for so many years in a row. I never knew why it didn't work. Bam, you learned something. There's our unhinged Loa comment. Very nice. And with that, I was waiting for our little special sprinkle. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. And I will see y'all lovely peasants tomorrow. Take care. Bye.